Well, today was all about staying out of a red day. Hey, fellow traders, it's Black Coffee Trader. It is Monday. What is today? The 9th of June. And we are wrapping up the day here. And again, just a sideways day. And the whole thing for me was just staying out of having a red day. I really battled back today. I was down, I think I might have been down like 150 or something like that at the lowest point, and kind of battled our way back. Just really a sideways day. There were really no really big moves. I did call this trade out this morning in my trade plan, a bounce off of the 750s. We got that. I was looking at it this morning and I just simply didn't have the nerve to pull the trigger. It was right after the 8:30 bell. Like, I think that triggered right around the 9:40, a little before 9:45. So 10 minutes after the open, we bounced off that level. It would have been a great trade. I just didn't take it, and that's okay. I would rather not take it than to take a risky trade and then really mess up. I did take a bad setup right here. I don't know that it was that bad. I really was targeting this little hold area on the NASDAQ, and I moved my stop to 860, and I got slipped by 10 points on the stop. So that one hurt a little bit. That was a $160 loss that should have been more like a $120, $140 loss. So anyway, that was a little bit rough. This was really, I was really looking at this area today, the 6,004, and then I also added this morning, the 6,008 area. You can kind of, well, you might be able to see that a little bit better here. The 6,008 has really come into play here. Even this morning we held below it and we're bouncing right off of it here end of day. And I was looking, I went long this morning right here. This was the first trade, hold of this area, and I killed that trade for a $90 loss, and I should have held. Look at what I missed. I then re-entered this trade and had a nice $120 trade or something like that here. Re-entered on the retest of that level again, killed that on the pullback, entered again, and then this was really the trade I should have stayed in. It wouldn't have been a huge trade, but it would have been a very good trade. Went long there and on this little pullback, and at the same time the NASDAQ was pulling back, and I just killed it out with $70. So just really kind of choppy this morning. It was very, very difficult market, but I was in the right spot on this last entry. Even on this one, I could have held through that and survived, and we could have had a really, really good trade there. Nothing too big, but it would have been a nice trade. We never did break down below the 6,004s. However, we pulled right back down to this level. So very interesting. The other winning trade I took today was on the Dow Jones. I had a really nice break and retest long here, end of day. Well, I say end of day, that would have been around lunchtime, and that was when I was done trading my funded accounts. At that point, we were just really, really choppy, and we kind of got up to this high of day from Friday, and we just really couldn't break through. I did take some stupid trades with my eval accounts and paid the price. I was down. I'm actually still in a live trade. I was down over 600 on these accounts until we shorted this little pop right here, end of day. I shorted this, and I'm actually still in that trade. I'm just going to let it ride. Whoops, wrong selection here. I have a target down here. I'm probably not going to get there. I'll just let it ride till we get to close to 5 o'clock and then just kill it. But I'm going to have a red day on these accounts. Definitely did some damage. Again, just stupid. You can see here I was chasing longs up here and we just never broke through. Increased some size a little bit. So, it's okay. We're going to be down, 250, maybe 200, 250, depends on what happens here in the next half hour. But, all right day, even though we have a little bit of red on these accounts. I'm really more focused on my funded accounts, and again, $20 some is nothing, but the key factor really there is just staying out of having a red day. That's the real win for me today, battling back after being down. This was a bad one here, a tough trade. Some of that was due to the slippage. And then the other mistake really was this first one of stopping out of that one. Those were the two mistakes I made today from a loss perspective. This was a mistake by killing this. The reason I did kill that trade, again, we kept pushing up and then pulling back. We were making lower highs, and I was afraid this was going to be another lower high. We're going to go back down, stop me out, or have a break even trade. And I really didn't want that. I wanted to get some profit, so I killed that one. definitely a little bit early. I'm a little bit sad about that, but again, just, you know, you've got to trade what you see at the time, and maybe I had too much emotion wrapped into that, and that's on me. But again, my trade plan was really solid today, looking at the 6,004, 6,006s. I really wanted holds above that. We got that. The choppy market just unnerved me a little bit, and I didn't execute quite as well as I should have. So it is what it is. NASDAQ did miss that big move like we talked about. And on the Dow Jones, I also missed this. I didn't miss this when I looked at it. I wasn't confident enough to take it because of the choppy market. But that was one of my trade plan setups that I called out this morning, was a bounce off the low of day from Friday. We pushed out of there. Interestingly enough, if you look at, I mean, I mentioned this morning about the daily 20 and the daily 200 moving averages needing to catch up to price on ES, because we really, for the last, I'm going to say week and a half, we have really struggled to break above the previous highs of day. Like, we broke above Friday's high of day, but just barely. And the curiosity is this going to just be a sideways market until this price catches up? Or obviously we have a bigger some news events coming up later this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Does that, you know, move the needle, and do we finally break out of this channel that we're in? I'm not sure, but it's very interesting how when we get up to the highs of days, we really struggle. We really struggle to break through. And it's almost like the buyers just simply die at that point. So interesting thing to observe there, and, you know, we'll keep watching that. NASDAQ, it's kind of similar. We did you know, have a nice little move above the previous high of day, actually a decent move above previous high of day. That was on Thursday of last week, but we gave it all back. So, yeah, interesting. So we'll see where things go. Let's look at TradeZilla. I think I updated that. Yep, today 177, nothing crazy, 50% win rate. The big positive for me is I'm actually green on the month. So last week we ended on a small red day on Friday, down $65 on the week and the month, and now we had a little bit of a green day today, so we are slightly green on the month. Nothing crazy, but that's better than red. And so again, just trying to avoid having the big red days, even though we didn't have a great green day today. I'm glad I stopped trading the funded accounts at noon when I did. That was a wise move. So anyway, that is that. I think we'll leave it at that. Last but not least, don't forget that Apex has a new 90% sale going, or not 90% sale. I wish it was 90%, 80% sale going on. And this is the good one with the 80% off and 80% off recurring months. So code BCT gets you that deal. Thank you for those of you that use my code. I appreciate that. The Take Profit Trader discount is still running, that 30% off and no activation fees, which is a very good deal. But anyway, if you're interested in that, that's available as well. So again, I just want to say thank you for those of you that use my code. Appreciate that. Day 99 in the books. Tomorrow will be day 100 of trading this year. So on that note, some of the accounts I've had for pretty much that length of time, here's today. These oldest accounts, these top two accounts I've had for 95 and 91 trading days. That's not calendar days, that's traded days. So hopefully we can eventually push these things up and get them to pay out. We're sitting at about 49,000 and 49.4. So definitely have a long ways to go, but we keep working at it. So anyway, I think we'll leave you with that. Once again, thanks for following along. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow's another no news day. So we could be in for another sideways day until we get into the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So be interesting this week to see how things shake out. Let's just try to be careful about it and be positive and take our shots when we get the opportunities. So, all right, I'll leave you with that. Take care. Until next time, so long.